Yo, what's going on? So I'm going to be running through how I make my hard Detroit sample type beats. So we're in FL Studio now. I've got my sample loaded in that I've already chopped up at 112 BPM. So this is going to be a bit of a faster beat. I might slow it down later, I'm not too sure. And also serious love, we just hit 500 followers on Instagram, so as I promised, I said I would drop a free loop kit or a drum kit or something along those lines. So I want to drop one of those soon. Anyway, we're going to go straight in here real quick as well. I think I'm actually just going to slow this sample down. I think I'm going to take it to like 100 BPM, just see how that sounds. Alright, sweet. Now let's throw some snares in. It's just a standard snare pattern. To be honest, I like to start with my 808s really, because that's how you sort of find the bounce of things, if you get me. What I like to do is I like to put my velocity up a bit. Real quick before I forget, these are both on mixer track 1. You take the low end out of my sample so the basses aren't clashing, and just bring this down. Alright, I think that's got a nice bounce on it. Another thing you can do as well is this little dial right here. You can turn this up a bit and it just offsets your notes a little bit, giving it a bit more bounce. And then with the hi-hats I might actually change this sound. I think this sounds a bit nicer. So the trick here, the hi-hats is really where you get your bounce for this beat. Alright, I think we're gonna wrap up the hi-hat pattern now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna highlight all of these, Control A, and then I'm going to hit Alt and R for the randomizer, make it a bit less static, if you get me, and then mess with the pan a little bit. But these are how the hi-hats are sounding. Next thing we really got to do is open hats, percs, and then we'll do like a switch up with a kick in it and that sort of thing. The thing with these sample Detroit beats is it's about finding a bounce and filling those pockets with sort of percs, hi-hats and that sort of thing. So we're going to go in with this next perc. Sometimes what I like to do as well is just listen to the drums by themselves, and then that way it's kind of helps finding a pocket easier because you're not having the melody going on and that sort of stuff. This is what it's sounding like. Now I was listening to this zap sound. It's a bit weak, I'm not gonna lie, so I'm just gonna find something to switch that out with, a bit of a hard hitting zap. Alright, swap that out, and it's literally just rinse and repeat. It's the same process, trying to find a sound that also fits and just fill in the pockets with it as well. Let's just hear it with the melody as well to sample so we can hear how it's coming together. That's sounding nice. That's what I like to do as well, especially with these sort of chill back Detroit type of beats, is for just one of the sections what I do is I take the 808 out and put in a kick pattern, and so this could be for like a verse or something like that. It makes the beat stand out so it's not as repetitive, because those Detroit drum patterns, they do get a bit repetitive, I'm not gonna lie. So you can sort of break it up with this kick pattern. there's not as many kicks as there is 808s. So I'm more chilled out because of the sample that I've used. You know, it's jazzy, it's saxophone, piano. I'm sort of leaning more towards a chill kind of beat, but nah, I think this pattern fits it well. Nah, the open hats can make or break a Detroit beat, in my opinion. You see that bounce that makes these open hats? This is with it, and then without it. Especially with the 808s as well. Let me mute the kicks. See, that's that Detroit sound that you know and that is popular. It's about matching the 808s with the open hats, but also finding a bounce with the open hats as well. Yeah, so like you can see in that pattern there, it's not about going overboard, but just having them spacing out, giving it another bounce. I know I'm saying this a lot about the bounce and this and that, but that's really all these beats are. It's about being jumpy, being bouncy, getting the artist flowing on them. But to be honest, yeah, this is pretty much the drums of the beat done. Just thinking now, I'm just looking for my drum kits. I might also throw a triangle in there. Yeah, so it's just this sound here. So what I'm going to do now is for the arrangement, if you don't already know this, if you right click, before I do that actually, let me put you on here. So if you hold shift with your mouse, you select all the items, all the sounds that you're using in your drums or your melody or whatever, go into the mixer channel. So from where you want them to start, if you go on the mixer channel, right click, channel routing, route selected channel starting from this track. There we go, boom. All of your sounds loaded into the mixer channel. Yeah, now with that being said, with that done, I'm going to right click on the pattern, split by channel, grab these and drag them in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all of these here, so the triangle, perc, the kick, get rid of the 808 as well. And when it comes in, it's just going to come in with this 3 count on the hi-hat, open hat. And then I like to have my snare come in next, and then the hi-hats last as well. And what I'm going to do as well is I'm thinking just for this arrangement, I want the percs to come in later in the verse. So what I might do is for the first 4 bars, I might have no percs, then introduce maybe the laser or the Detroit perc or something like that. And then for the verses, bring them in proper. And in these verses, I've got rid of the 808s. And then in the hooks, I've got rid of the kicks. And then now it's sort of just mixing and matching the percs and these other sounds, making it a bit more interesting, breaking it up a bit. Yeah, that's pretty much the beat arranged. So we've got our intro here, main hook, verse 1, hook, verse 2, and then we've got our outro here. And yeah, so apart from mixing, the beat's done really. I'm not going to bother doing the mixing in the video now, but if you would be interested in seeing how I mix my beats, drop me a comment below. I'll get a video out soon on that if you're wanting it. But yeah, that's basically how you make a sampled UK Detroit beat. Also drop a comment if you want to see how I find my samples and how I make them. But yeah, massive thank you if you made it this far watching the video. Go drop a comment, go subscribe, and I'll give you a playthrough of the beat before the video ends.
the shit.